Round 2 of the Drive On Championship presented by Volvic. We're here with our second round leader, Austin Ernst. Austin, great round today, 67. Take us through the round.
Thank you. I think it was a little bit more solid ball striking wise than yesterday. Started off, I hit it 2 feet on 10 for birdie. And then on 12, I actually hit a good enough drive to be able to go for it today. Hit a 5-wood just left of the green and chipped up to 4 feet, made birdie. And then made another birdie on 18, 10-footer, just short of the hole, and then turned to the front 9 and made about a 12-footer on 3 for birdie. And let's see where I made the other birdie. 3, 7. Then on 7, made about a 18-footer slider. So that was nice, and then made a good up and down on 8 to keep the momentum going. And anytime you get in bogey free, it's nice.
I'm sensing a theme here because nothing you mentioned was outside 20 feet. So it looks like you're stuffing a lot of iron shots.
Yeah, it was a little different than yesterday because I actually made quite a few long putts yesterday. I probably made 2 putts over 25 feet yesterday. And today, couldn't quite get the putter working early. Had a lot of really good looks inside 15 feet, but I hit good putts and my speed was good all day. So I had a lot of easy pars, and it's nice when you get yourself a lot of good looks and come away making a few of them.
One of the things that we're hearing from players is that the greens are really firm and that it is difficult to get it close because of that. How are you able to do so?
Yeah, I think pretty much every hole I hit it close. I had a wedge of some sort. So you really kind of need to be aggressive off the tee to be able to kind of get those numbers. And then you kind of know there are some holes that it's just so hard to hold the green. Some of the par 3s, number 11, with that pin in the middle, was almost impossible to actually get it to stay on the green. So I think when I knew I didn't have as good of a number, or as good of a full number, or as much green to work with, I kind of placed it in a good spot just over the green or on the right side of the green to where I still had a look at birdie, and I didn't have to work very hard. I think my distance control's been good, so I've kind of been able to attack it where I've had those good numbers, and where I've had wedge opportunities, I've been able to make a few birdies.
Is that something that a 29-year-old Austin knows that maybe a 24-year-old Austin didn't? When to attack, when not to? That sort
Absolutely. That's been something that I've learned over time. I think it's just one of those things now I kind of know, especially here with the greens firm, I kind of know how much the ball's going to release typically, and I kind of know if I've got a pin that's tucked and I don't have a good number that maybe I should hit it 15 feet right of the hole instead of trying to go right at it and end up pinning it in a bunker or somewhere. That's not a great place. I think now I kind of know where to pick apart a golf course, and I think that's something that now I'm in my 8th year on tour, so that's kind of something I've learned over time.
You're about to go down, speaking of learning over time, you're about to enter somewhere that you've never been before. You've never led going into the weekend after the second round.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. So what is the mindset that you take as a leader going into the weekend?
I think it's the same thing that I took yesterday going into today. Obviously, I started today with the lead, and I saw Carlotta shot 7 under, played a great round. So you kind of know there are birdies out there, and obviously getting off to a good start. But I think it's the same thing. The weather will be a little tougher tomorrow. But when I have good numbers, when I have opportunities, I'm going to try to attack the golf course. And when I need to dial it back a little bit, then I'll just kind of pick my spots.
And speaking of the maturity that you've had up through your 8 years here, it is going to be miserable tomorrow. How do you keep from becoming frustrated with that and stay patient throughout the bad weather?
I think you just know what you're getting into. I went and got myself an Under Armour yesterday because I didn't pack one. But I think it's just one of those things. I've played in a lot of bad weather. I played one of my best rounds last year at the British Open in miserable weather, so there's no way it's worse than that. If it's worse than that, then I will be shocked. But I kind of know. I just keep one foot in front of the other, and it's not going to be as easy as today. The ball's going to not go quite as far, so it's going to be like 60 degrees and raining. So hopefully we get lucky, but I think it's just one of those things. Everybody's dealing with it. So if you can just deal with it better than everybody else, then you're good to go.
Were you more miserable then than you were playing with Beth Ann and me in the Bahamas?
No, that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah. Hey, it was the Bahamas, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
What's the best part of your game right now?
my putter's good right now, but I think my irons and my wedges. I've got a good feel for my distance control, and you get some iffy lies. I hit a divot on 9, so just kind of being able to control it off those kind of lies, I think has been the best part of my game this week.
And when you get into pressure situations, what is it about your brother on the bag that you think helps the most?
He talks to me. He kind of knows what to say to me. And I think the fact that he played, I think is big because he kind of knows what's going through my head without me telling him. Part brother, part competitive golfer. But I think that's what's so nice is I kind of know if I have a question on a shot or putt, whatever, that I can kind of bounce it off of him, and he's gonna be able to help me a lot.
How long did he play professionally?
I think a year and a half.
Year and a half, okay.
So he started caddying for me midway through my rookie year.
And is there a part of your game that he has helped you with?
I think he's helped me on the greens, and then I think what he helps me with, especially practice rounds and kind of before the kind of beginning of the week, if I kind of have a question on kind of a lie or kind of how I think it's going to come out, he can either tell me how to hit the shot or he can say, oh, I think it's going to do this, where that's kind of where if you don't have a caddy that plays golf, they don't know. I think reading lies is kind of one of those things I've gotten way better at, and part of that's because of Drew, because if the ball's sitting down, I kind of know what it's going to do. If it's just kind of different situations.
Yeah, nuances.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of questions. I remember in your winner's circle interview at Walmart that you said that win just made you feel so confident in your game and your ability to know that you can win out here. Has that thought changed at all since then?
No, it's the same.
And do you feel that every tournament you play, every shot, maybe every round?
I think it varies sometimes. There are weeks where you're struggling a little bit more and it's harder to get that feeling. But I think last year, contending a lot, finishing the year on the money list, top 6, that kind of stuff, all of those little things kind of translated into me being more confident and knowing that, week to week, no matter what the conditions are, I can still contend.
Last question, I promise, is you mentioned that you're an aggressive player, and we know how aggressive you are, but we have an Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole this week. How do you enjoy those Aon Risk Reward holes, and do you plan on being risky this week?
I think they're fun. I got to be today because I hit a good tee shot from the back tee, and I got to go for it too. I think it just kind of depends on what the number is, and conditions. If it's miserable and the ball's not going very far, I probably won't be able to go for it tomorrow. But we'll kind of just wait and see after the tee shot. But I think they're fun. You get a little variation, and sometimes you get to move the tee up on a hole they normally wouldn't move the tee up on, so that's fun.
Thank you so much, Austin, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.